So, y'all, it's early as fuck in the morning. I've been up since 5 a.m. It's still dark out this bitch. Getting a little colder, not really as cold as it can be, but it's getting a little cold out this motherfucker. I've been up since 5 last night, or yesterday. I'm on my way to Dillon, South Carolina right now. Would have been there yesterday, but I had to stop at a Love's to have a tire looked at that kept going flat. I put some air in that bitch the other day, and by the time I got loaded up, the tire was like, well, nah. So it wasn't all the way flat or busted nothing, but it was low. So I said, well, let me get to the closest Love's, you know what I'm saying, get me maybe a plug or something for this tire, see what's going on. And I also was missing some mud flaps. And I don't have time for the DOT to be stopping me about no goddamn mud flaps. So I said, let me go ahead and get it knocked out real quick. I was in Thompson, Georgia. And when I pulled up in that motherfucker, the guy, the dude that was in there, a black dude that was in there, he was like, yeah, man, this won't take no long time. I'm in here by myself, though. They got me swamped. But he said, yo, mud flaps and, check out this tire. That won't take no time. I was in that bitch for 4 hours. By the time I got finished with that shit, I had ran out of time on my clock. So I had to stay in that motherfucker. I had to stay at that Lowe's last night. I didn't plan on it. I planned on being in Dillon yesterday. So I didn't plan on stopping there or being there for that long. But it ends up, I had to be there that long just to get the shit fixed. And by the time they got done, it was like 11 o'clock last night. So I went on ahead and just slept for a few hours, and got on up and finished this ride off right now. But I wanted to come in here while I was making this ride and share this video with y'all. Now, I want people to listen to what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. This ain't no hate shit, but I've seen comments like this on my videos, comments like this abroad, and I must deal with this shit because it's just a fabrication of reality. Now this I made a video the other day where there was some coon ass black man on my left some comments on my channel on the video that I made entitled "Really?" We was basically on some coon shit. If you missed that video, it's here. Check me out. But on that video, I got a comment from I'm going to say a proponent of ADOS, or maybe a self-identifier of ADOS. Here's my issue with some of these ADOS peoples. Comment reads, I keep trying to tell you, Rob, you need to start making connections. Some of these cowardly comments are coming from the same crowd. When you take a closer look, you'll find that many of the Negroes who use the same parroted shaming jargon, similar to Owens, are non-ADOS, swirlers, and feminists. We need to start making distinctions and stop lumping everyone under one black umbrella so we can pinpoint where much of the bullshit is coming from. Now listen. Y'all, I can't allow, even as I don't hate on ADOS. I don't do that. I think it's stupid for you to be a black person and hate on a reparations movement of any kind. The distinction of being an American descendant of slave, that I can't hate on that. But some of the ideologies that I see are some bullshit. Now, based on what's being said here, cooning, most of the cooning comes from non-American black folk. Now this goes directly against my metric of 99% of black people are coons. I don't say African or Caribbean or South American or all over the world. 99%. That's my distinction. I'm not going to let your distinction come overshadow my distinction as to what I believe as far as self-hating cooning and how black people, have been self-haters historically. Just because you ADOS don't mean y'all, the team is above cooning. If we look at what ADOS means, based on what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but it means American descendant of slave. It's a direct lineage. So if we're using that metric, who was the original house nigga? I mean, I'll wait. Who was the original saboteur of black liberation here in America? That's ADOS. Who they used to infiltrate black organizations, turncoats, bootlickers. This ADOS. So, I can't allow... Now, again, I understand that when you deal with some of these cool motherfuckers, some of them will be swirlers. Some of them will be so-called feminists, but a lot of those so-called feminists are ADOS. A lot of the swirlers are ADOS. So let's not get too high up on your horse. People that are in support of the movement. And I consider myself a person that's in support. I'm in support of the movement. But some of you motherfuckers are getting real high up on your horse. The way you acting like, all this shit coming from foreign black folk. That's not true. I didn't just start doing these blogs or studying black people last week. I've been here for over a decade. I've been studying black folk for all my life, but in particular looking at our psychology over a decade. I've been doing this shit. So I'm not going to let y'all off the hook. Like, if you ADOS, you just woke and down, and no. Some of the worst coons I ever seen was ADOS. Especially where I live at, here in the South, you'll have these black descendants of slaves, American descendants of slaves, flying Confederate flags and all types of stupid shit, all types of coonery. Yeah, I'm not letting y'all off the hook. Now, I can be down, but I will not ignore reality to make ADOS feel good. Or to put y'all up on a pedestal, to put us up on a pedestal, because I am ADOS. By definition. A lot of people like to skirt the distinction, but I am ADOS. I ain't gonna let us off the hook though. Like, we ain't coons. That's why reparations movements don't normally get tractions, because most ADOS are coons. Like, what the fuck? 99%. This is what we're dealing with. That's why talks about reparations will be met not only from the immigrants, black immigrants, who are fucking coons, full-blown, self-hating ass coons. The hate won't only be met from over there, it'll be met from the ADOS peoples right here. Black people don't know what to do with their money. They just gonna spend their money. They don't know what the fuck to do. You get that shit from black folk, regular American black folk. Stop playing with me. Y'all not gonna play with me. Y'all can play with somebody else. Y'all not gonna play with me though. That's what you won't do. I'm not the one. You can get this shit over on somebody else who ain't paying attention, who isn't studying. You want to put yourself on a high horse. A lot of y'all doing that high horse shit with this ADOS shit, and you gotta stop. You have to stop the high horse shit. You can't do that. Because if you study cooning, you study sellouts, you study saboteurs, you study bootlickers, you study turncoats, ADOS, all in that motherfucker. ADOS. Mm-hmm. So you cannot come to my channel and tell me how much I need to make a distinction. I've seen the comments like this more than once. I've been sent emails, these ADOS emails, talking about, like it's just immigrants that coon. Immigrants do coon. 99% worldwide, though. So to me, they're an expected group. I expect them to coon. I expect, at this point, 99% of black people to be self-hating ass coons and to conduct themselves in this way. To be sellouts, to do any type of thing, anything for money, in an effort to so-called live their best life. I expect that. And again, this ain't no hate on ADOS, but some of you motherfuckers need to slow down and be real. You can be for reparations, for the lineage, for the distinction, and still be real. Because if you start talking this bullshit talk, you're not going to make sense to people. Because you're not about to sit here and tell me that, oh, well, yeah, it's just these immigrant coons. They're the ones. It's actually even more problematic when you have ADOS coons. Because they should be in solidarity. Now, I know there's some rift in, who created ADOS for real. I've been seeing all types of fuckery going on amongst black YouTube, and I always am. I mean, it's like it never stops with you people. Y'all don't know how to just get in your lane, stay in your lane, and do your thing. Y'all, black folk don't know how to do that. There has to be dramatics at every turn. There has to be theatrics at every. People don't know how to just chill, live, and stay in their lane. But y'all not gonna convince me that ADOS is just immune to coons. Most coons are ADOS. These are the facts. Here in America, I think there may be 4.5 million immigrants here in America. That means that most black people in America, ADOS. Or natives to this land. Yeah. This is real. And if you study the history, see who was selling out, you will see that yes, immigrants, they send them over here to sabotage our groups. They send them over here hating black Americans. They do that. But ADOS has been has to hold itself account for being being a large set of these coons. You have no choice. You don't have a choice. Well, I guess with me, you ain't got no damn choice, And they are feeling vibrant right now. I know y'all feeling real vibrant. Made that conversation a national conversation. I respect that. But what I cannot let y'all do is create a false narrative. Because you having to convince black folk to even support the movement that says ADOS should be 30 million strong. 30 million strong. For at least, I'll say at least 35 to 40 million strong. Should be. But you know why ADOS and every other reparation movement that's ever existed before ADOS, because it's not the first one. You know what the problem is? These American descendants of slaves are coons. Self-hating ass coons who only want white acceptance. So even talking about reparations or anything that's owed to black people makes them uncomfortable because they don't want to make white folk mad. Coons. That's what you're dealing with. In reality, ADOS. That's why you're having to convince folk. So understand that. Don't come over here telling me that, ADOS is coon-free, a coon-free zone. No, not based on what the distinction is. If we're just talking about lineage alone, American descendants of slaves, you know who the original house niggas was. You know who's the ones snitching on slaves fleeing the plantation. Your Stevens, I'm using Steven as a Django reference. These is ADOS. That's who it is. So stop playing these fucking games and let me make my videos. I don't have to make no fucking distinction. Unless the distinction is relevant. But when we talking about sellouts, shit. Any black movement that can be infiltrated by black peoples, and I don't give a damn what's happening here, Africa, I don't give a damn if it's happening in Brazil. It don't matter to me. But when it comes to cooning, to me, ain't no distinction. You just a goddamn coon, you a sellout. UK, I don't give a fuck. Where you at? You a sellout. You a naysayer. I'm not going to distinguish that part. To make it seem like everybody doing the cooning but ADOS. As you name these groups, as you name the groups, the feminist groups, swirlers, that's ADOS. I'm sorry. So we have to be real about this shit. Again, I fucks with it, but I'm not gonna be fake to fuck with it. I'm not gonna ignore reality to make myself feel good. That's black folk problem now. Well, shit. If we're distinguishing it, ADOS problem right now. No, I'm not gonna do that. We cooning all over the goddamn place, and everybody needs to get on code, because when we get ADOS, if they get on code, get the immigrants on code, then shit goes smoother. We have a real movement. Not only just an ADOS movement, but a Pan-African movement as well. I don't know why these two can't coexist. That's what's odd to me. Well, I guess it ain't odd based on me studying the psychology of black folk. Motherfuckers gotta be at wits with each other. I don't see why Pan-Africanism and ADOS can't exist in the same room. I don't understand it fully. Because I have a Pan-African mindset when it comes to me caring about and wanting liberation for my people all over the world. I could see a movement in Africa and support that. See a movement in fucking Australia. I don't give a fuck. I support that. Black folks standing up for themselves, I support that shit. Black folk waking up to the fuckery, I support that. I don't care where it's happening. But that's the Pan-Africanist mindset. All over the diaspora. I support that. But a reparations movement, specifically for the people who built America, 3Ks don't get this shit fucked up and incorporated, of course. Well, how could anybody be against that? How could you be against the narrative? And why do you feel like if you ADOS, you can't be Pan-African or vice versa? I don't understand y'all. Y'all silly to me, really, with that bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest. But again, what I won't do for y'all is make a distinction so unrealistic that I'm gonna say that all sellouts, most sellouts, are immigrants. No, that's not true. I won't do that for y'all. So, that's all the fuck I want to say, man. Hopefully won't nobody take this with disrespect. If you do, I'm with the smoke. If you want the smoke, I'll give you the motherfucking smoke. It doesn't matter to me at this point. I ain't disrespecting no goddamn body, so don't come over here disrespecting me. Because you will be dealt with. That's all it is to it. So understand that. I love my people all over the goddamn world. But we are some motherfucking coons. We are, and have been historically, on some sellout shit. So, let's be real about that. ADOS and whoever else. Let's be real. But that's all the fuck I wanted to say. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on social media. Donate. Order a t-shirt from brother. All links in the description box. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.